Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
Guys, how you doing? So today's video should be published on Thursday, I think. Yeah, let's say I think it's Thursday, because this should be coming a day after the clone reworks, okay? So today's video is all about the clones, pretty much, for the most part. And also, we're going to chat about, since we got the reworks, what I think is going to be happening in this game, and the meta changes, and what we'll see in the upcoming days, weeks, and months from the Clone Wars content, and what you guys should be really looking out for as well. So I know that I did some videos in the past chatting about, a possible Master Kenobi Legendary event, and other type of events that might be, coming into the game. I think Kenobi's a safe one to say might happen because he's already in the game, he's already in the loading screen of the game, and it makes a lot of sense for me. But since we got these clone reworks, guys, I've kind of changed my thinking of what I think it'll be. And hopefully, at the end of this video, maybe I can, convince some of you guys that it's going to be something like this. But hopefully at the end, you'll get to, a point where I might be onto something. And if you guys still disagree with me, just let me know in the comments below. But let's just start this off by looking at the clone reworks. So I did this video yesterday about going over them when they were first out. Everything in green is all the new stuff. I don't want to go and just do a redo of that video. What I want to just hit on is some of the uniques, some of the abilities that they added in that got reworked that I think could be a really good potential 5th for a Padme team. And then we'll actually later on chat about what this can mean with these reworks and what the future content can hold for us. But pretty much there's 3 that got reworked, and then a Ahsoka touch-up. Really, the touch-up wasn't crazy or anything. But pretty much, I really like this one here about, when 5th's is present, they gain more offense, and then they have more defense, really. And another one here is the Dispel. I think Dispel's pretty cool. But when you're chatting about this in like a Padme team for like a 5th, when I'm chatting about the Padme team, though, it's going to be Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka, 3PO, no. Let's rewind that a little bit. It's going to be Padme, Anakin, GK, 3PO, and then this 5th. So this 5th I'm going to think of is going to be, in this particular instance, is Echo, and what he can actually bring to the table. I think he has some cool, abilities. His AoE Dispel seems pretty good. I'm not too sure how that would work versus a Malik when he's going to be critting and then getting Fear. I don't know about that part to it. But his basic seems pretty good. And his other unique, he has actually 2 uniques. They're actually pretty good here as well. I just don't know if it'll be the best 5th for Padme. I think out of these 3 reworks, there's a lot better ones. So I think Echo's probably not going to be, tied to a Padme team. I think he'll be more about the clones. So, but the other 2, though, I think they could be real candidates for the 5th in the Padme team. I think they're really, really good. And let's go see the next one here, which is 5th's. So 5th's got a really cool rework. I think he's probably my favorite out of the 3. And let's just read some of the stuff here. So the basic is the same. This one, though, his special where he calls an assist, got tweaked so that he can actually target an ally. And what we were missing from that team is like an extra assist and chance of landing that healing immunity from Anakin's basic, and this will allow you to do that. Having the ability to call an Anakin to assist is actually quite big. And then also on top of that, at the end of his turn, if no allies are taunting, he taunts for 5 turns, or for 2 turns, not 5 turns. That'd be crazy. But this is pretty cool. I think since this is a special one, it's an attack, right? That's actually built in with the extra taunt at the end if nobody's taunting. So just think about this. GK, let's just say in this slow Padme team that we're running here, guys. Let's just say that GK got his taunt dispelled by some, in some way, shape, or form, right? This guy, after he does this turn here, calling in an assist, he'll gain an immediate taunt. And if you guys didn't know, 5th's has one of the biggest HP protection pools in the game. Just to show you guys, it's highlighted right here. It's actually pretty big. I wouldn't say it's like the biggest. There's definitely some other guys that are up there, but this is quite good. This is what is this? This is might be gear 13, gear 12 when these are added in here. But on top of this, guys, this doesn't show the reworks. I just wanted to show you guys he has some good HP protection here. But when we swap back over here to his kit, this one he's gonna gain even more defense, which is 100% when he's taunting. And when he's taunting, the defense is going to be there, and then on top of that, he actually has quite high base defense as well. So the hits from, let's just say, Malik, everybody that pretty much in that team that we're going to be fighting is that typically does a lot of damage is probably going to get mitigated pretty hard when we're chatting about his taunt. What I would like to see is if he can actually soak up one of those HK hits, because if he can with that high of a defense, this will be a really strong 5th in this team. Being able to just have the whole team run as it is with the extra cleanses, the extra assists and turns, and then adding this taunt in with him being able to just soak up pretty much any attack besides a drain life pretty much. That just to me seems to be really powerful. And that's his first unique right here. Has a Zeta. He actually has 2 Zeta on his uniques. And I'm not sure. I think this might be the one here. 100% defense when taunting. The extra defense is only here when Echo is there. So it wouldn't be working out too well. But I still think that just having a taunt after a GK taunt is really strong in my opinion. And then later on in this unique, he can't be revived. See, this whole thing probably isn't worth talking about, but I think it's pretty cool. It really works well with Clone and the 501st. Whenever he dies, he can't be revived. And when another clone, I think it's 501st, dies, they actually make him die instead, and then they gain a bunch of HP and protection. And that's pretty cool in my opinion. But yeah, I think 5th's out of these 3 is probably the biggest and the strongest candidate for a really good 5th in the Padme team. And then next up here is Rex. Rex, his basics not really crazy or anything. I think it just grants up some potency, which, it could be good, but it's only limited to 501st that doesn't have it already, which kind of is going to be tougher in that team. We'll have to see though. You might be able to pull it off where you can have Rex and 5th's out there at the same time, or or rather 5th's and Echo in there at the same time. But having to pull off 3PO is going to be kind of hard to do because he's really good in that team there. But here we go. This one here, he has a Dispel here. It's pretty much the same exact thing as before, but just having that in there for another cleanse is really big. So you'll have now 3. You'll have this one, you'll have GK's, and you'll have Padme's big, huge cleanse. So just more cleanses really helps out. Being able to, get the tenacity up, which can get, with 3PO being there, you get even more protection up stacks, which is just really big. The TM's not going to happen because with Padme there, she doesn't, grant you any extra TM gain, which is unfortunate, but it's still pretty good, I think, in my opinion. And then here, guys, this is another one that I'm thinking of that really will be good here, his special here. It's called Aerial Advantage, and he deals physical damage to target enemy plus bonus damage equal to 25% of the target's max HP for each turn a clone trooper ally has taken during this encounter. And it starts on cooldown. So I'm not sure, what is the cooldown on this for? Okay. So this one, what I'm thinking, you can have this as a 5th and have 3PO in there as well. This would be really good when you're chatting and wanting to, talk about when you're just standing there alone versus a lone Malik, like a 5v1 or 4v1, whatever it may be. This will start on cooldown, and by the time you get down to being last with Malik, this attack will be ready to use, and you'll do a lot of extra damage, and, either, almost one-shot the Malik guy, or just do enough to make him really low and make it easier for the other guys to kill him because you have other people there going to support you with Anakin's healing immunities and all the big cleanses, all the assists. This one looks to be very strong in that aspect, but I think this is more geared towards like a light side GOTB and possibly like maybe a really strong GA team and TW team. We're not going to talk about leader because he's going to be as a 5th. This one here, Captain the 501st. They gain 4% speed for each 501st, so if he was in here, he would be gaining 4% speed by himself, which he can make it so he can fit a little bit easier in the TN or in the turn order because he's not the fastest. Which I think this one is probably one of the coolest things out of the reworks. Extra speed is going to be huge for these guys. And then This other thing here, the reducing ability cooldowns, isn't going to work too well with the Padme team, but I think it'll be pretty cool to see. And then also, if Ahsoka is an ally, she gains crit hit immunity whenever she falls below 100% HP. So that's another thing why I think Rex might be really cool here. If you do want to run Ahsoka in here, that'd be pretty cool to see her whenever she falls below 100% HP, gain crit immunity, and if 3PO is there, guess what? You gain protection up. So there's a lot of cool things about these clones, and what I think would be really cool to see. I don't have 5th's at a good gear level to test him out in, but I do have Rex at a good gear level, and I will do some tests once the reworks do come out here, guys. We'll have to see. I'm not sure when that'll happen, but I just think that these, more in particular, the Rex and the 5th's, they have some really cool new kits that can, be potentially good 5th's for the Padme team. So this might be a little bit longer of a video, but now just chatting about the potential feature of the content for this Clone Wars stuff. I think since Anakin didn't get a touch-up based around the 501st, what that leads me to believe, guys, is that we'll get a really big event in the future based around an Anakin that was for the 501st and worked really well with the 501st. This Anakin in-game was the one we see in, like, Episode 3. The Clone Wars Anakin is a bit different. You can see, I'll show a little picture of what the Anakin in Clone Wars looked like. He has like a bunch of these cool armor on, kind of like GK. And I think if we give him the 501st hand, like how Ahsoka will, I think that might be a potential meta. Because they could easily make clones meta, or not make clones meta. They could easily make clones and rework these clones and add in new clones with some new Clone Wars Jedi, or just rework the old ones, and then make those guys put into an event like a legendary event or some sort of big Malik type of event, and then just make those guys the meta. I think that could be a real potential thing here, guys. And if that is the case, that makes the clone priority and the Clone Wars Jedi priority even higher than it was before. You guys should really be in Horde mode more than ever, really. This is a lot of cool and exciting times right now in this game. This is just my take on what I think is a good fit for Padme, and what I think we might be seeing down the road. Not to mention, we haven't even seen Mace rework, we haven't even seen Kiadi's kit yet, and we are still waiting for Shaak Ti to be farmable on a node. So, guys, today's video I think is a lot to cover here. I wanted to keep it pretty short, but I just really love these clone reworks. And with the reworks, and we haven't seen an Anakin rework here, or a little touch-up with the 501st, I think we might be seeing an Anakin based around the 501st. It makes a lot of sense to me, actually, because we already have a GK, we're going to have a Master Kenobi in the future. I think it would make a lot of sense if they made an Anakin around, the clones and make him with the 501st. I think that would be really, really cool. Guys, that's it for my video today. If you did like it, give it a like, share, and sub. That really helps my channel grow. We're trying to hit the 3K sub goal, so if you guys can, if you're new here, please leave me a sub. It really does help. We have a Discord and a Patreon if you guys want to go join that. Check out the Patreon. That's it for me today, guys. See you later.